Welcome back. I'm still in conversation with Abhishek Bachchan. Some of the movies which I have enjoyed, Yuva, fantastic movie, great characterization. Now, and the same director you got Ravan, which didn't do too well, which is something which you were very happy with the role.
Yeah.
How do you explain the audience reaction to the same director? You don't.
You don't get into it.
Okay.
We've spent the last 100 years trying to figure out what the audience wants. We haven't managed to get it. So you just carry on trying to do something, We did Yuva, which met with a lot of positivity. Then we made Guru, which is one of my biggest hits ever. And then you make Ravan, which is a very ambitious film. And it doesn't go down. So okay, you carry on, you make another film.
So are there, you are also now holding the reins for ABCL, I believe.
Yeah.
So there is the actor, and then there is obviously somebody who runs the corporation. Is there some kind of a survey you do, make a study, what works, what doesn't work?
No, I think...
Is there a more scientific approach or it's not?
No, the only science goes into the budgeting of the film.
Okay.
I produced a film 2 years ago called Pa. Balki came up with the script. We heard the script, we both together sat down and said, okay, we think this film should be made in X amount. And we did it. We didn't want to make it in more than that because I had the offer, I made the film at 15 crores. I had the offer to sell that film at 65. I would have made a huge profit for my investors. They would have been very happy, but I did because I knew it would kill the film. At that point, the quest was more to establish that AB Corp is back as a production house. We're going to make films we believe in. So when it comes to producing a film, you just have to go by the gut and say, okay, this is something I want to put my support behind. And that's the way we do it.
And are you looking at more experimental stuff also? I mean, the whole gamut of kind of films,
yes.
Or is it just...
And, at the end of the day...
any film which works?
It's whatever inspires you. Yeah, I want to make this film. Okay, then you get into the budgeting of the film, which is a different process altogether. But it has to, it has to germinate from the fact that, yeah, there's something about the script, I really want to do it.
Now, you've done a few films with your dad. There's Pa, there's Sarkar, there's...
yeah, quite a few.
Kabhi Khushi, Kabhi Gum.
Yes, I've actually done, I think, maximum with my dad.
So,
I think at last count was 9 to 10 films.
9 to 10 films?
Yeah, I mean, including guest appearances and stuff.
Yeah. So, it's a two-faced question. One is there a pressure when you're acting alongside him of, father and son? The other is, which do you think was the best working together? Which movie?
Is there pressure? Yes, on 2 counts. Huge. One, you're in front of Amitabh Bachchan, and that fact kind of hits you halfway through your dialogue, You're like, whoa, that's Amitabh Bachchan, It's very tough to get over him and his image. You're working with the best in the business. You don't want to look like a fool. You don't want to disrespect what he's doing, so you really need to, you have the pressure to perform. Secondly, as your father. You don't do a good job when you're driving home together. He's gonna be like, what are you doing, man? What's up with you? And he said that a few times. Like, you need to concentrate. You need to improve this. And as a parent, then you don't want to, So there's that, which has been the most enjoyable. I've had a lot of fun working with him. I had a great time. I think Sarkar was a lot of fun. I think it showed us in a light which people wanted to see us in. Bunty Bubbly was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing Bunty Bubbly because he was just letting rip in that film. He was having fun with it. It was a fun film. I still remember shooting Kajrare, and it was just great fun.
And Pa, the roles were reversed. You're playing the father.
The roles were completely reversed. But the thing is, almost felt like you weren't working with Amitabh Bachchan because he just transformed into a different person altogether.
And does your mom contribute? Is she a participant in this, or does she stay away because she's infrequent now in films?
Yeah, the rule at home is you can't discuss shop on the table.
Okay.
So that is a big no-no. But yeah, my mother with me reacts more in a maternal way.
Yeah.
She still can't. I don't think she's accepted the fact that I'm an actor and I've done close to 50 films. Yeah. For me, for her, I'm still going to be her child. And she still thinks I'm the youngest born, and she's in that zone. She's a mother. So she doesn't react to me as a professional. She reacts to me as a mother. But having said that, she's not one of those over-possessive types. She's been the kind of mother who said, okay, go out there, make your mistakes, learn. I'm there for your support, but you got to do it yourself.
She's not the stern kind who...
No. She's very sweet.
Now, obviously you've also had a lot of politics in the house. Not within the house, but people who
Correct.
begin in politics. Has that been a subject of much discussion in the Bachchan household?
Because when my father was in politics,
He
I
was.
was very young, and that was the time when I was sent abroad for boarding, so we weren't really around. And ever since Dad resigned from politics, from then on it just didn't matter at home. It wasn't a subject. And when Ma was doing Rajya Sabha, she wasn't in, she wasn't in the Lok Sabha. She was part of Rajya Sabha, so she was doing something which she felt was a duty to her country. She was trying to do more social work than anything else. So it's never been something we've discussed actively at all, in fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
so politics is pretty much out of the...
Yeah, we've never really, we talk about sports a lot.
Yeah.
Because my dad is a huge sports enthusiast. Films very little. World of events and all, obviously, yeah. But that's something that's been taught to us from when Dadaji used to be on the table, because Dadaji always, as the head of the family, said that life has to go beyond what you're doing. You have to be worldly wise. So, we used to discuss a lot of world events, what's going on, discussions on stuff like that. He really encouraged that a lot, and so did my grandmother. Yeah.
And there's the other woman in your life, of course,
Yeah.
which is your wife, and you just told us earlier in the interview that she's a sports buff, which I didn't know.
Yes, she is.
So now you form the most glamorous couple, as I'm informed, and you've been to the Oscars and whatever else. She's obviously got a lot of exposure internationally, perhaps more than you've got.
Yes.
And when you how does it feel when you step out with her on the international stage, and here are people who are...
We don't think upon it like that. At the end of the day, she's my wife. I don't think about what she's feeling when she comes to my events. When I have a premiere or I have to go somewhere for an event and she's accompanying me as my wife, I don't seem to think that that's a problem for her. So why should it be a problem for me? Somewhere I feel that's a bit of a regressive way to think, like, oh, how come she's my wife, I'm going to support her. If she's invited to a function abroad and she requests me to come along, and if I'm free, it's my duty to be there supporting my wife. And that's the way I look at it. It's really not even an issue with me.
And how...
I've seen my father do that to my mother. Be it my mother's premiere or a social function or a charity function that my mother's doing, my father's there supporting my mother. He's Amitabh Bachchan, come on. He's there and he loves it. He says, it's for my wife. So maybe that's somewhere I picked that up from there.
And how's working with her as a co-star?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed working with her, even before we got married. I've done a lot of films with her, and I've always enjoyed working with her. She's a consummate professional, and she's always been a dear friend of mine. We've been friendly from the first film we did, which was Thayakshar Prem Ke. Yes. I've always enjoyed sharing creative space with her, because I think she has a lot to offer. And it's always been pleasurable. It's just now the great thing is after you say cut and pack up, you're with your wife, so it's even better. We get to spend more time together.
And from a future perspective for Abhishek Bachchan, you are obviously you're running ABCL, you're acting. Is also direction part of your directing movies?
No, I don't know direction.
Okay.
I don't have a want to know direction either right now. I'm very happy being an actor. I'm having a tough enough time doing that. I've never even thought about direction. I've been asked this question before, but I've never even considered it. Yeah.
And your parents have been involved at certain stages, or even now with issues, social issues, whatever else. Do you find yourself inclined? For instance, we've just seen this big movement, for Lokpal bill,
right,
anti-corruption, whatever else. Do you align yourself? Do you see yourself playing a more active role, or are you saying?
I do what I have to do. I do what I want to do. I do what I believe in doing. I'm not the kind of actor who's going to associate with a charitable movement or a socially conscious movement because it's the popular thing to do. I think that's possibly the worst thing you can do. Just, I want to show people I've got support. I tweeted about it day before yesterday. I said, support needs to be in deed, not just in thought. And I believe that. If you want to do something, do it. Don't have to necessarily show it. I do my fair share of charity. I stand up for social causes that I believe in. But I don't necessarily feel that I have to shout about it from rooftops, because I feel that kind of removes the integrity of what you're doing on some level.
But you're also very active on the social media scene,
yes,
on Twitter and whatever else. Is that so is your dad, for that matter?
Yeah, it took me a lot to get him onto Twitter. But when I got on, what I liked about Twitter is that it's a very honest place. You're always going to get somebody who's going to act over smart, that's fine. But what I liked is that it's the first time we as actors get a medium to connect with our audience on a one-to-one basis. Usually we do it through our films, or you do it through the media. So in a sense, there is a moderation that's going on over there. It's not entirely in your hands. Our films are directed by somebody else, they're edited by somebody else. In the media, it is edited by somebody else. You ask particular questions. On Twitter, for example, I get to interact one-on-one, tell them exactly what I'm feeling. And they get to tell me in a very undiluted way, and it's not screened in any which way, what they're feeling. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. I think that connect is very important, and it's nice.
Now, 10 years in the cinema, or perhaps a little more than that. You started out with Refugee as a rookie, and now pretty much, not a veteran, but you a seasoned player in the industry. How do you see your own position? I know you're a pretty independent thinker in that sense.
See, what happens about position is that it changes every Friday. You have to. For me, my position is where have I reached as an actor as compared to where I want to be. Am I performing on the level that I want to be performing at? Am I performing, and is my capability as an actor anywhere near what I think I should be doing? The answer is no. I think I have a very long way to go. I think there's a lot of improvement that can be made. But I also recognize that that is going to be an ongoing process. I see the greats, I see people who've been around for 40, 50 years, and they're still as eager to go out there and perform and improve as possibly a younger person is. So I recognize that as an actor, it's going to be a daily thing. But as long as you're learning and trying to improve and pushing yourself every day, that's the important thing.
So you're not in this, rating and ranking of actors and, in popularity.
No, because you really can't.
Yeah.
You really can't.
You live from Friday to Friday, as you say.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's wonderful, Abhishek. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best for your 4th anniversary.
Thank you so
Your
much.
better half is not here, but
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.